Your life experience, good or bad, is a gift when you share it with others. At Taxi Chronicles, we allow real riders with real stories to share their gift. So hopefully this episode will intrigue, enhance or inspire you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have an American in the house, and he's, well, I assume he's American. I'm making assumptions here. And he's going to tell us all about his cannabis business. And yes, guys, it's in England. For those who love the little sneaky weed now and then, Josh will be the man to speak to. So nice to have you here today, Josh.
My pleasure.
So first of all, what brings you to England and how do you find this wonderful city, London? Do you like it?
I love it, yeah. I grew up in Massachusetts, so we're all Irish and English over there, or wannabes. Okay. So, yeah, I've always wanted to live here. And then I moved here in 2009 to work in finance, which was boring as hell. I had much shorter hair and, overall much more boring person, but wanted to get the heck out of it. So I moved back to the States for a couple of years, but then got an opportunity to start a cannabis business here. And, I'd seen all the amazing success in the US and Canada, and this was an opportunity because we're 4 years behind the US and Canada in the UK. Mm-hmm. So it's just like rife for opportunity here. And so we started in 2018. Mm-hmm. We have a CBD business, mm-hmm. And we also just starting right now with medical cannabis. So very soon we will be...
For those who don't know, what's CBD?
CBD is cannabidiol. So it is a cannabinoid in the cannabis plant. So there's many cannabinoids. There's, I think, 140 in the cannabis plant. Everybody knows THC. That's the one that gets you high. CBD is it's more well known now, but it's basically a product in the UK that's like really prevalent now. There's like, everybody knows Holland & Barrett's got loads of products on the shelf, and it's a product that just really works. It's helped me so much with my anxiety. Have you ever tried it?
No, I'm a bit of a naturalist, but I'm interested to hear how it works for other people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really good for sleep, good for pain, and good for anxiety. Like I said, it just kind of, mm-hmm. If you're one of those people like me who have a little bit of low-level anxiety always, it takes the edge off. Mm-hmm. It's an unbelievable thing, as opposed to having a glass of wine at night. You just have some CBD and you're sorted. But it's kind of it's a movement, I think, for the UK population to just get acquainted with the cannabis plant in a way that's not intoxicating and really based on health. And I think it'll just kind of open things up for what's to come, which is hopefully full recreational legalization. So
you said you got an opportunity. What was the opportunity in the sense of how did it come to you?
Well, so I knew the CEO of the company from playing ice hockey. So, of course, Americans were playing ice hockey. I grew up playing, so I found a team over here in the UK when I moved here in 2009. So I knew the CEO of our current company back because we played hockey together. And so he was starting a company, and I always wanted to work with him. So the opportunity clearly was, to open up the market in the UK, but it was also to work with great people because the management team that is surrounding me and I'm a part of is just world class in terms of its relative value to other cannabis companies who are mostly younger people starting, not much experience. So that was the real opportunity. It's lots of companies are IPOing right now, and the market's got some real interest, and I think it's just the main thing is this plant helps people. First and foremost, it helps kids like Billy Caldwell, Alfie Dingley. These are kids that had real issues with refractory epilepsy and autism, and cannabis really helps them. It actually helps to reduce seizures, and this plant that we all grew up with, maybe dabbling in, maybe getting a bit too high, maybe not being into for whatever reason, because that was me. this plant, if taken in the right doses, is so helpful and so meaningful, and I'm just like absolutely behind it 100%. And you know what it can do for kids and what it can do for adults, and kind of everything in between.
Do you need a special license for that own a cannabis shop here?
Yeah, I mean, it's very different from the US. So whereas the US is kind of open, it's federally illegal, but state by state it's legal. It's kind of a free-for-all. It's just different in Europe. Europe has different regulations. So to do any trading in this medicine, when you're talking about medical cannabis, which is like the high test stuff with THC, it's the full-blown cannabis flower, you need a license. So you need a home office license and an MHRA license to do anything. And so we did that. We bought a company called Therasmos in 2019 that has all the licenses. So we're able to trade in what's called unlicensed medicines.
Okay. You can trade unlicensed medicine if you buy a license. So I noticed you said you bought a company.
Yeah.
Would it have been really difficult for you to just apply for the permits yourself?
No, I mean, I think it takes about a year, maybe 2 years to do it, but you need real pharmaceutical background and knowledge and experience, because the home office is not just going to give it to me, some American.
How is it?
Yeah, no, they're going to really scrutinize what you're going to do with it, because it's controlled drugs, and we're talking about really serious stuff here. Like, we have a license for Schedule 2 to Schedule 5, so that's anything like fentanyl, the real high test stuff. So our pharmaceutical experts have done this for years, and they really understand what they're doing. So, I think that's kind of the part of the business that we need to build that building block, but eventually we'll move into a situation where it's recreational here in the UK, and it's something that, and by recreational I mean it's just legal. Anyone can buy it at a shop or whatever.
Like Holland.
Hey?
Like Holland.
Yeah, like Holland, like California, where it's just like, come on, let's stop putting all these restrictions on this plant, which we all know is way better for us than alcohol.
Yeah,
and cigarettes. It's pretty clear. There's loads of studies. So it's just about changing the opinion that's kind of the stigma that's been out there for years.
So your supply, is it like you got a farm overseas or somewhere? Or?
Yeah, we do. We have farms kind of all over the world that we're working with. Not that we own, but we partner with. So we make partnerships with farms, and they're going to be growing to our specification. So they grow to exactly what kind of plants we want and the outcomes that we want. So yeah, it's so fun. And I think, the problem was originally in Canada, they did a vertical integration. So they wanted to actually grow all the way through the supply chain to sell the product at the store. And so every little bit of that supply chain was owned by one company. And we don't want to do that. We just want to do it smart, like pharmaceutical companies do. But now we're really getting into the boring side of the business here. Yeah, I mean, it's
also interesting. You know why I wouldn't say it's boring. What I'd say it's interesting, especially for your clients to understand, because they would say, some people may say, what is the difference between the turmoil that the drug industry has caused and the root the thing? So if they understand, then you seem more legitimate.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's just all about education. I know it's all about education. It's giving people the tools to make their own decisions, and it's got to start from me and you, just understanding that this plant is not harmful when taken in the right doses, and and you see patients around who are getting such a benefit from it, and it starts from the patients. The patients are really why the law changed, because there were a couple mothers of Irish descent who were just warriors, and their kids were sick, and they saw that cannabis was helping them, and they saw that this law was just stupid. So they really went to town on the government, and the government changed the rules and opened it up.
America.
This is in the UK.
Okay.
This is in 2018. So like I was saying, this woman, Charlotte Caldwell, her son Billy Caldwell, and there were a few others, Alfie Dingley, and a couple other kids that their parents just really went to the government and said, like, this can't happen. And so the cannabis was allowed medically in 2018. I think it was November. There was a law that was passed, so it was like a very small sliver of a crack in the doorway, which was opened, and yeah, that's what kind of built our business. That's what got me excited. And
Okay.
you know, you see the dominoes kind of starting to fall. Germany has just said that they're going to legalize recreationally, just like Holland. It's going to be a different model, but you know, Malta actually just went legal recreationally, so you can go to Malta sometime in the near future, and just buy cannabis in a store.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Europe will go the way of the U.S. and Canada for sure.
Yeah, I hear you. What's been the hardest thing that you've learned that you wish you knew when you had started?
Let's see. I wish I actually knew about how to bring a product to market. It's hard, and it's just not something that I did when I was trading stocks on Wall Street at all. You know, understanding how long it takes to come up with a concept, to design, from just kind of the very beginnings of that thought process to actually selling that product in Tesco. So at Cannaray, we sold into Tesco in February of 2020. You know, we're now in Asda, we're in Superdrug, we're on Amazon. So
Really? All those things?
yeah, we just actually got into Waitrose. We're the only one exclusive CBD brand in Waitrose. So really cool. I mean, it's a testament to the hard work of our salespeople and the whole thing. But yeah, I wish I just knew anything about bringing a product to market, and because it's just we kind of squandered a bunch of months in the beginning because we were just trying to figure it out on the fly. We had some good help around us, but it was just like, man, we definitely made mistakes. So yeah, I mean, I've learned so much on marketing and design and products and just the whole thing. It's fascinating. It's just like being an entrepreneur. I wish I had done this when I was 30. I'm 42 now. I started this when I was 39. I mean, it's just...
The Kentucky man started when he was 60.
Who?
The KFC
Oh, okay.
started when he was 60. So
Colonel Sanders?
yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Nice.
And he's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, man, it's never too late. That's a good point. It's never too late.
Yeah, so the time when you started is usually the right time.
You're right. That's a great point, man. You can't force anything, and it's just you got to go with the flow.
And so, how long has the company been around? And you spoke about making some mistakes. What are some major military blunders that you made that you would warn other people about?
Well, we've been around since 2018. We signed the docs in December 2018. We raised 8 million pounds in July of 2019, and concurrently bought that company Therasmos that I was talking about. Yeah, you know, I think the major mistakes we've made is really just not understanding the CBD market as well as we could have. I think the problem we had was we overweighted on retail and underweighted on e-commerce, which, like, you know, it was just textbook 101 stuff. There was no data out there, so we kind of took a shot because we had a lot of retail experts around our table. So we went into Tesco and we went into these big retailers, but they don't sell much right now because they're not, the category is so new. The whole business is online. So you have loads of companies out there in the UK making 2 to 6 million pounds a year. And we were kind of chasing our tail. We were chasing the wrong thing. It will be the right thing eventually. And I think the partnerships we've made with these retailers is awesome. You know, and these retailers will be where the market is eventually, but it's just we got unlucky in terms of that because the business wasn't there.
Your business model, are you going to franchise certain sections of your company? Like someone could have a shelf or a section online, there'd be a supplier underneath, you know, helps the supplier, or is it just going to be you?
I think, yeah, I mean, we do affiliate things where if people are pushing our product, or, you know, if people can sell our product, then we will give them a certain percentage. But in terms of franchising, we haven't really thought through that yet because we're just, it's so early in the cycle. We're just trying to build revenue and just build awareness for the plant, because I honestly think once people really understand what this can do to their day-to-day life, it will fly off the shelves more than it has. I mean, it's like, we know that there are 9 million people in the UK who have tried CBD. And from our research, 22 million people are considering it. So there's like 66 million people in the UK. So basically half the population is interested in it. That's just the hard work that we need to do, just educate and get people to just give it a try. So we have multiple products that are around anywhere from 15 to 18 pounds where you can give it a shot. You can go on Amazon UK, or you can go on CannarayCBD.com to take a look.
Okay, that's good. What would you say to your 16-year-old self?
I would say, right now, man, you did a damn good job. Honestly, I would, being a person that really beats himself up and has really kind of never given myself the, this nice man on a moto, never really given myself the ability to say, to sit down and just congratulate myself. I actually would. I would say, keep it up. To my 16-year-old self, be yourself, take a deep breath more often, and that's about it. I don't know if there's any chance that I could have changed anything. If I honestly believe, this is kind of going off on a tangent, I honestly believe a lot of our lives are kind of set out for us, not in a religious way, but free will is an interesting topic that maybe we can do on the next one.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
People can find me at CannarayCBD.com. In terms of you can go to my LinkedIn profile. My Instagram is jroberts1079.
Okay. So is that all? Do you want to spell those ones? So is it just 1010?
Yeah, J Roberts, JROBERTS 1079. I'm not a huge Instagrammer, much more on LinkedIn, and it's Joshua Roberts, and the company is Cannaray Limited. You can check out the website CannarayCBD.com.
Okay, that's good. And you've been a great guest. My last question to you is, what's the impact you want to have on the world?
I absolutely want to make the world a better place. I think one of the things that I'm well suited to help the world in is mental health. I come from a long line of Irish Catholic folks, and I think we tend to have a little bit of an issue with mental health, and it usually comes out in the form of alcoholism. But it's just based on mental health. It's a mental health issue that's kind of soothed by alcohol. So I have this ridiculous line of folks who are alcoholics on and off, and I just want to break that line, and I want to do it with everyone else as well. So I'm a huge proponent of mental health and trying to stop the epidemic that I think is really kind of pervasive in our society.
Okay. Well, that's good. I think I'd sense another episode out of that, because my question that comes to mind is it mental health or just being able to communicate your emotions?
That's a good point. I think that we're all so repressed, and when you open up your mouth and talk, good things happen. I think you're right. I don't think that it's just this nebulous, or not nebulous, the opposite actually. I don't think it's this one thing you can put your finger on in terms of mental health. It is many, many different things. And I think therapy and talking and, finding people in your community or just friends or parents, whatever, to open up, that absolutely helps. But, with everything going on with social media, and I can't imagine being a kid right now. I have a kid, and it's like, how to protect them from what's going to happen with social media. And
you know what the funny thing is, I don't think they need protecting. I just think they need guidance.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Protection maybe is the wrong one.
Is going to be cause problems because they're going to have to be exposed eventually.
You're right. That's completely right. I think that was the wrong word. Guidance is the right word, and just, it's not evil. And
it's like what you do. I'm not sure if the term drug is the right term, but the chemical or drug industry, you guide people.
Yeah.
You guide people and say, this is actually a good product. We've taken a bit out that the government may be a bit concerned about, and we're offering it to you at affordable, clean, accountable price and quality, to help you in your everyday health.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is about guidance in terms of you want to just find the right brand that's done the right thing, and taking the right time to really check their product.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks a lot for that, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
We hope you liked that Taxi Chronicles interview. Don't forget to share and subscribe to get the latest episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economies and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources. Listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. British Standard Time.